Welcome back to Shut Up and Dill podcast. I am one of your 3 co-hosts. My name's Nicki. We also have Vivi.
Hey, everyone.
And Jimbo.
Hey, guys and gals.
Almost forgot to say your name. So we're excited to be back. We did miss a week. We've had a lot going on. I thought we'd start off that way on this episode and talk a little bit about what's going on. But before we do that, I do want to do a shout out to our sponsors, 002. The next tournament, they're done for this year, but the next tournament is March 8th and 9th. It's here in San Antonio, so right here in our backyard. And what's the format, Jimbo, for it?
It is a team tournament, Duper style, I guess fueled by Duper. So they're going, I think they have 14s, 16s, 18s, 20s, maybe 22s.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's a 4-person, two male, 2 female. They also have singles, but they are paying out, I think it's $1,000 to each division winner.
Yeah.
So all across the board, so $1,000.
Yeah, and singles is on Friday, and then
Singles
the team
Friday.
competition is going to be Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, March 8th and 9th, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
And you can use discount code DILL for any new listeners. That is DILL, DILL.
It's not you can, you must. No, just kidding.
You must use our discount code.
Yeah,
please.
save yourself
I
some
don't know
money.
why you wouldn't.
Save
Yeah.
10%. You're silly if you don't. So,
That's right.
all right. So, who wants to kick us off on what's been going on?
Well, since the last episode, I got back from a cruise, to Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not good with geography, but yeah, had a fun time. Didn't want to point something out. There was a pickleball tournament on the cruise that I was not allowed to play in because I am not over 18. And when I got there, I didn't know that it was 18 plus, but when I got there was 2 other teams, so they canceled it anyways. So,
Oh, not enough players?
Still, that's rough.
Yeah.
Like, you can't play. But I'm sure, they were offering you, mixed drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's usually how cruise ships work. It's, easy to get adult beverages, but hard to play sports, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
I wonder why they would say, though, that you can't play.
I mean, I don't know if you get hurt or something.
Because they have the sport courts that anybody can play on anytime, right?
Yeah, well, the first day I got there, I went up to the deck to see the courts, and I didn't see them. And I got there the day of the tournament, and I still didn't see them. There was a basketball court, and it had lines like a pickleball court, but it was triple the size of a pickleball court.
Oh.
Yeah, it was super weird. But, I don't know, maybe they were going to tape it then or something, but I have no idea. It was weird.
Or maybe there wasn't enough people to tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else? Anything else?
No?
No?
I don't think so. I mean, had lots of fun. Went jeeping in Cozumel. And, had lots of fun. But
Sounds fun.
What's been up with you?
Well, we did play the 002 Fredericksburg tournament. Played men's and mixed. Felt like men's probably underachieved a little bit, me and my partner, or I did anyway. But, that's kind of how it goes. Played some really tough teams. I think the 2 teams we lost to were gold and silver. So,
Yeah.
and then you and I played mixed and did, had a few really good games and a couple of bad ones. But, I think we let everybody know that we were there and we're kind of going to be a force to reckon with. We have been. I think we're making our way. And then I was in Michigan all last week in Livonia,
and for
Michigan.
those who don't know, he now says that he is from Michigan.
I'm pretty much a resident now.
Yeah, yeah. All you do is talk about pop and the pizza.
drinking my
Detroit pizza.
pop and my Detroit style pizza.
Yeah. And your northern accent now. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Developed.
Olivia has the Australian accent.
Yeah.
You have the northern accent now. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fun. I was there in the Detroit area for work training and got to play a little bit of pickleball and went and saw the. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent you a picture of the court.
Played indoors. Yeah.
I think a lot of the play now there is indoors. I mean, it
In
was
the north, it would be.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it was a nice facility, good group, kind of like a private group. Real nice. There was one guy that was, I mean, nice and a good player, but is there's always like one. There's always one, right? It's like just kind of hard to play with, and I think me and everybody else I played with kind of respected each other's games, and I met one of the guys at a tournament, but everybody else, like, I'm complete strangers, so I'm just trying to like do the best I can on the court and like support, whatever shot I need to. It's kind of like I need to help here, or I need to like stay out of the way there. But
you don't
there's
wanna
one
feel
guy
like
like
you're too little.
one guy I just couldn't figure it out with. But after a few points in the game, like we stopped and talked about it, and then so we
Yeah.
reconciled our differences.
Sometimes that's further along than you and I get on the court.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was fun. Went and watched the Wolverines basketball game.
Well,
Yeah.
and he has a shirt now.
I do have a shirt.
It says Michigan.
Yeah, I also got a shirt
Well, you
that
got
he
a shirt,
caught.
yeah.
I caught it. And I was like fourth row. So, yeah. So it's been busy. It was good work training, and glad to be back. It's just that first day back at work is always killer.
Oh yeah, today was the first day back at work.
Not that I haven't been working, but anyway.
In the office.
In the office.
Yeah, yeah.
How about you? What's up with you?
Well, played in the same tournament in 002. Right before that, though, my dad was put in the hospital, so that was tough. It's been kind of stressful, but he's back home, so that's good. And played in the tournament and did not do as well in women's as I wanted to. Just a tough day for both me and my partner. We both kind of did not play the level that we think we are capable of.
Right.
Played mixed with you. I do think, we got quite upset with each other on the court in 002.
We did?
We did. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah.
It's our first time.
You don't remember that?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
Totally
yeah.
joking.
No, yeah, we got pretty upset.
I don't
But-
remember that.
Oh,
You weren't there.
yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah, I forgot.
It was-
I actually forgot that I played in that tournament.
Because you were only there for one day.
I was there for one day, and I also didn't do too well. I went 1 and 2. New partnership, so kinda. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever.
But I do feel like we hit one match where I feel like I kind of had a little bit of a personal breakthrough of, I feel like I've been my game has been softened or muted over the past year or so. And in one of them, I was just like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I am just going to swing and play and be as aggressive as I know I can be and play the way that I know I'm capable of. So I felt really good there. And I feel like since then, even when we went to hit this weekend, I was fairly aggressive at Chicken and Pickle and just went for it. And, I was just like, well, my partner's just going to have to keep up
Yeah.
because I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And I feel like we hit at Chicken and Pickle a few weeks ago, and those guys just really like to hit as hard as they can. And they see the female on the court, and they tend to target you. And a few weeks ago, I was very hesitant. And on Sunday, I was like, no, you're going to slam it at me, then I'm going to do it right back.
Yeah.
And we'll see who wins that. So that was fun.
Yeah, nice. No, that was a great match. I think we both I just caught the vibe. Like, this is what we're doing, and let's go.
Yeah.
So it worked out well, and then the match after that wasn't bad. I think we kind of kept the same same mindset. Just kind of missed some shots or whatever, but and the other team played really well. So.
No, they did. Yeah. I hate it when I lose because I didn't play the way I think I'm capable of. But I don't mind if somebody beats me.
Oh, yeah.
They played well, and they played, they just didn't miss that much.
Yeah.
But I felt like we played well too. We just missed a little bit more. That's
Yeah.
okay. I'm all right with that loss.
Much better than saying we beat ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're going to kick us off, right? Vivi, I think you have a
yes.
topic that you brought to the table. So
I wanted to talk about like advice and like what's the best advice that we've ever gotten that helps us on the court. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first or
no, who do you want to go first? Do you want to go first, or do you want somebody else to go?
you?
yours?
Ooh.
You can go first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm going first. Okay. So best, and I can say like athletic advice, right? Not just pickleball. I actually think mine is quite simple. And it is, in tennis, you say it all the time, and I think it's applicable to really anything. It's keep it simple, stupid. Like, I'll say that to myself a lot. I feel like a lot of players miss because they're trying to overcomplicate things. They're trying to be too fancy or go too big. So anytime that I feel like, even towards the end, you've said this before, like you don't like to switch at particular times.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way of like, sometimes you just got to keep it simple, stupid. Like just stay where you need to stay, protect what you need to protect, and get that done.
Right.
Before you complicate with anything else. So sometimes you'll see me kind of back off and say, just keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Watch your line and stay there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So that's mine.
Well, this is some advice my dad gave me when I used to play tennis. And I was very prone to crying when
I'd have never guessed.
like warming up, or we'd go and hit before tournaments, and we would practice serves, and he would just tell me before every serve, just smile and just let your body do what it does, because I practiced this for a long time. It's just like, just let your body do it. So pickleball, I just smile, and I try and smile as much as I can, and I think it works. I mean, it helps me forget the last point if I lost it or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I got that advice from a book. It's sports psychologist that was, talked about golf and putting and just standing over the ball when you're going to make a putt and just knowing that it's not going to go in. Right, it's like the worst feeling in the world. Just like hitting a serve, like when you're when you're serving tennis, just having that in your mind, like knowing that you're not going to get this ball in is really rough. And if you tell yourself it's not going to go in, it's probably not going to go in. So, he said just smiling through that, or smiling before you address the ball to putt, or if you're serving a tennis ball, just to smile, especially if it's something you don't typically, or, don't really enjoy doing, or something you're struggling with at the time. Just smile before you do it, and it just kind of puts you in a different spot.
Yeah.
So,
Can I get a little sciencey for a second?
let's do it.
Because you know that I'm guaranteed to bring science in. So I actually read a quote the other day, or not a fact. It wasn't a quote. It's a fact that they've researched. So all of that comes from being anxious, right? Of getting the yips, and the smiling is supposed to help kind of reroute your brain. And one of the things I just saw the other day is that the part of your brain that handles that anxiety or creates that anxiety is also the same part of your brain that does gratitude. So they say if you're feeling anxious, that you should flip what you're thinking about and be grateful for the moment that you're in. Be grateful for the opportunity. Be grateful. Think of all the things that you're grateful for, and that part of your brain can no longer focus on the anxiousness. I thought that was pretty neat.
That is neat.
Yeah, I thought about it during 002.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I like reading
that's
those
good
things.
advice. It's hard to beat any of that. Like smiling and keeping it simple. Like those things are, it's hard to beat. But
What you got?
so,
Give it a try.
well, I got a piece of advice from pickleball tennis coach Michael. I don't know. Most people.
Yeah, Michael.
around our area know Michael Castillo up at Fit. And, hopefully he doesn't mind me giving this advice away for free. But it's, he talked about in pickleball, like he sees when you get to point number 6, at point number 6, you should really know kind of what your opponent is capable of and what they're not capable of. Yeah. You should also be in your groove by 6 points to perform at your highest level. If you're in the game mentally and physically at 6, you should be ready. You should be warmed up. It shouldn't take you 11 points to like get warmed up and say, oh, first game jitters. No, at 6 points, like you need to be locked in. And at that point, if you're locked in, you know what they're capable of, and you know what you're capable of. You should be begging for the ball, like at 6 points. Like, I dare you to hit it to me because I know exactly where I'm going, and I know exactly what you can or cannot do. So, and it's easy to forget sometimes when you're in the middle, especially of a tournament or a competitive match. But if you can stop at 6 and say, okay, this is what we're doing from here on out. We're not losing to this shot, and we're gonna work on this person's backhand or whatever it is. So I think that's been really good. Like when I can, focus at 6 points of really locking in. It's kind of like boxing. First round you're kind of filling each other out, and then after that you really got to be, really got to be on it.
Yeah, I think that has to be partnered with like what Ben Johns says about in the beginning of the match, you really need to be focused on getting a lot of balls in and changing them up. Because I can't tell what you're capable of if I keep hitting the same ball over and over again to you.
Right.
You've got to mix it up. You've got to mix up the spins that you're doing. You've got to mix up, am I going short? Am I going deep? Know that there may be some risk of you missing some points, but for the greater win of, okay, I'm not giving you that shot again, or you know what? You're about to get 1,000 of those.
Yeah.
Because that's the weakness.
Something Michael told me as well, I used to play in Next Gen, and I would get back and he would, ask me about it, and I'd be like, well, I lost. And he'd ask me, what I learned, and he told me, like, what he likes to teach is not how to win, but, like, how to handle losing, which I thought was really, really, like good to think about because... yeah, it's really important, especially when you're someone like me and you go to those tournaments and you go 0-6 throughout the weekend. It's really important not to be like, well, I lost. It's like, well, what did I learn? Yeah. So I think that's really important to think about. But
yeah. I think he talks about like being a great loser.
Yeah.
Like, not losing all the time, but learning from those losses and taking away something from every loss, and hopefully, like if you did take away something from that loss, you work on what that was and never lose like that again.
Yeah. You're bound to lose. Yeah. The only way to get to the top is take a couple losses along the way, right?
Yeah.
You got to learn from them.
Right.
Try not to repeat it. I like to be on repeat, I think.
Yeah.
So do we expand this to like from sports to maybe just general? Our podcast is about pickleball, but it's also, about life.
Family.
So do we expand it to like maybe life advice? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kick us off, dude.
Well, let's see.
Well, this is also really simple, like Nicki started out with, but it's just like nothing good comes easy or nothing good comes fast. So, thanks. Like I guess this is life advice, but I use it a lot, sports wise, and other people like to think of it like this too. But was it Michael Jordan who like didn't make the basketball team, and now he's like the best?
Yeah, I think something in high school. I don't know if he got cut, but he didn't make the varsity team.
I don't think he made the team at all. Well, I don't know. I don't even know who he was.
It may be true.
But
he was a very high draft pick, and he was very highly recruited as a senior basketball player. But it didn't happen. Yeah, it didn't. like he got cut, and I think his mentality was like, I never want to feel this way again.
Yeah.
I want to be the best there is. Yeah.
And you see a lot of people who like have like crazy careers that they like they just get up, they climb the ladder like super fast, and then it doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
But you work hard and you get to where they were, and you can be there for a lot longer. I don't know.
No,
But that's
it's very, very true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very true. Anything that that you want to sustain, it takes work and effort, and it's not short term. If you got it short term, it's probably very easy to lose.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think Michael Jordan was like just this, this guy that was, built as like a champion. It took a lot of hard work, and there's been the opposite of, really high draft picks in NBA and NFL that really, like, they just relied on athleticism and size, and didn't have to work as hard as everybody else.
Yeah.
So then they, they're number one draft pick, but then you get to the NFL and
Yeah,
there's thousands, or not thousands, but there's a lot of number one draft picks.
That's
there,
right.
So
they're all really good.
they're all really good. Yeah, and
What separates you?
yeah, right.
What makes you special? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
good.
think if you have
That's
those
good
goals, that
advice.
is a good one.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, am I going next or you?
You go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Are you still thinking about yours? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I don't know. Like I'm kind of thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
So you go ahead.
Okay, I'll go. I'll definitely give a shout out to my dad. He was a tough guy, but or is a tough guy. No, he was tougher back then than now. But he taught me a whole lot, and I think there are two things to me that he said along the way, and I remember one of them came at 10 years old. The 10-year-old one was to follow through. And I remember the exact conversation we were having. He was very angry at me because I failed to do something I said I was going to do. And he said, there's nothing more than taking pride in your name and knowing that if you say something that you're going to follow through with it. And I guess that goes to part two, is never say something you can't take back. So that was always, if you say you're going to do it, you better follow through with it, and never say something that you don't intend to follow through with or that you can't follow through. Use that with the kids all the time. For those who don't know, I have two kids that aren't on this podcast. So I take that into account and say, don't say something that I can't hold them accountable to.
Yeah.
Right.
Or hold myself accountable to. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. That was
You're
like
up.
two. That was like two pieces of advice.
It was, but they were the same. It was in the
Yeah.
same conversation, I think.
All right.
Sorry. Love you, Dad.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, there's
Oh my gosh,
so
yours
no.
is right.
No. I know. but
Go.
there-
Okay, well,
there's a lot
go
of-
ahead and prove
there's a
it.
lot- I've had
Follow
a lot of-
through.
I've had a-
Go.
I've had a
Go.
lot of good advice. Like
Well, pick your
Well,
my
favorite.
parents have always, had very good stuff that I can always fall back on and try to remember. But I think so. I doubt anybody listening knows this, but like I struggled with addiction and have been in recovery for the last 14 years. And through recovery, I learned, I heard, and it's spoken, all the time in recovery, is let go and let God, which basically means, those things that we can't control, whether it's things that happen in life or, illness, death in the family, whatever it is, you have to let go of that. Like if it's beyond your control, you have to let it go and let God basically take his will on those things. But there's a lot of, we can control a lot of how we react and how we, how we deal with certain situations. But as far as, those things that are beyond our control, we just, have to let go. So if I think about that in pickleball terms, to lighten the mood a little bit,
Oh, boy.
like lets and net cords, like, you just like, you can't control, like you cannot control those things.
Crazy.
But I am the world's worst at like getting angry at, getting angry about it.
Colin Johns. I am
Yeah.
so angry every time.
So when it's 5 or 6 in a row, or like, you lose a match 11-8, but there was 3 balls that clipped the net and hit you in the chest, or like you got out of the way and they rolled into the back line. Like, how do you let go of that, right? Like, how do you move on to the next
But
point?
now I know that every time it happens, I'm just going to say, let God.
Let God.
Let God.
You maybe, yeah, right. Or I'm gonna be grateful for that leg cord, because if I would have won that match,
It was
then maybe,
just training you to be faster and be better. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You need to be grateful for every one of
Right.
them.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's
So-
my advice.
So we have about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have one that I'm going to bring up that might be a little bit, might add a little spice. So, Vivi, you and I actually had this conversation on Sunday.
Yeah.
But you
So I
weren't
get in the
super,
conversation?
you weren't super involved, Jimbo, in the conversation. But I'm interested to really have the conversation, because it was while people were playing on the court, so we were kind of side talking, never really had the full conversation. So, do you want to set the stage or me?
Sure. We were at Chicken and Pickle. We were at open play morning, and there's some guys there. And what is this? Not what we're talking about?
Yes.
Well, sorry.
I don't know why he's looking inquisitively at you. Jimbo had a very lost look on
Yeah.
his face.
Well,
so-
no, we just got really specific.
We did. Yeah.
Well, okay.
That's okay.
I'm not
We
gonna
don't know
say I don't
names.
know his name. I can't
Yeah,
say
we don't know
anything. But
names.
there's a big guy and
okay.
not a big.
Okay, now we got no.
No, I mean he obviously goes to
There's
the
a guy.
gym and he obviously, takes a lot of pride in,
Physical fitness.
yes.
So,
Yes, and we're playing. I'm with my dad, and we're playing a match against him, and he's doing these shots
his shot selection.
that he did pretty much 75% of every point, and it's the volley drop, and it's where you slice the ball and it lands
volley.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the net. It lands right there, and there's no way you're ever gonna get to that. And I got upset. Not I didn't say anything because I'm not that person. I just said to Nicki that it's a cheap way to win, and I think it's guys, let me stop. Don't laugh.
What?
And it's oh man, I think people who lob constantly, people who do those shots, and people who train to hit those let cords that just drop, I think that they are not proud of what they actually can do on the court, so they resort to that so they can feel good about themselves. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It sounds so rude, but I just think you're not trying and you're not playing the sport. If you want to play pickleball. Don't just tap the ball. Okay, I'm done.
Wow.
I'm sorry, y'all. It makes
And
me
I
so
had a very differing opinion, so I'll go and then you can share your opinion, because
Yeah,
mine
we
was
were on the court at the same time.
yes. So mine was very different in that I feel like in any sport there's a broad range of shots that you can do, and all of them require skill. I'm gonna take the net cord out of it, because I don't know that anybody can really practice a net cord. It just means you have
that's such a
very small
lie.
margins.
No.
It means that when you hit, you have very small margins, and that margin is going to cause you to hit the net more often than other people. But a drop volley, a lob, it can be an overhead. Those are all skills that you have to have some ability to be able to do them consistently. We played a gentleman at one of the tournaments that lobbed consistently, but they were fantastic lobs. It was a skill that he had and owned and did very, very well. And I can't take it was frustrating,
Right.
but I need to know how to either stop that or dish it back. I need to put that skill set into what I have or learn how to combat it, because it's a skill. To take a drop volley is a skill. If you went out and tried to do a drop volley when a ball's coming at you at 50 miles an hour or whatever it is, it's harder to do than you think it is.
Yeah.
So it's not a dink. It's not this ball's low. and slow, let me just hit it low and slow back. This is taking a ball that has quite a bit of spin and velocity coming at you, and you have enough ease on your hand to caress that into a drop volley. That's a skill. And that's a skill he brought over probably from tennis. It's a skill, the drop shot in tennis, the lob in tennis, like all of that is a skill. So I take nothing away from it. It sucks. Yes, it sucks to see it. I played him as well, and I would say he probably did it 20% of the time, or maybe 15% of the time. There is something about the ball that was being given to him that allowed him to do it over and over and over again. And that's where you have to look at yourself and say, hey, that's either a skill I want, or that's a skill I need to learn how to be and not feed it to him.
Yeah.
Because he's feeding it. He could do it on the forehand, couldn't do it on the backhand. I'm not giving him a forehand. That's it, right? I know it's either going to be pummeled at me or it's going to be a drop, and I can't get that, right? So that was I was like, don't be jealous of the skill. Figure out how to beat it or not feed it, right?
Yeah.
Beat it or don't feed it. There you go.
That's the best advice I've ever gotten. Beat it or
don't feed it. Yeah, that is.
Okay.
I think that ranks up there now for me.
So I don't know. I kind of see both. I see both sides. Honestly, I see both sides. One side, like to your, like on your side, Nicki, it's definitely, I think once you have mastered a shot, and on top of that, you notice that your opponent has no answer for it, then it's all fair. Like if we can't defend a lob, then that should be, a pretty good go-to shot for our opponents. Or if we can't not feed that drop volley to the person we're playing, or if we can't realize that he's going to drop volley and make a movement to the ball, then that's on us. But I will say, in your defense, like size, like I played baseball.
Oh,
we all know I
gosh,
played
I know where
baseball.
this is going.
And if I were, had I been 6'4", 6'5", like I probably could have played baseball for a lot longer, right? Like I just wasn't tall enough. Like I could work out as much as I wanted, but I wasn't tall enough. That. So if I had that size playing pickleball, like a drop volley is probably not going to be my go-to shot. One, probably because I don't have the finesse or the touch, but like I'm probably looking to reach out and attack what I can. It's kind of like the NBA player. Like when I see a 7-footer like stand on the perimeter and try to like shoot threes, I'm like, come on, man. Like if I was 7 foot, I'd be like banging bodies and like getting rebounds and playing defense. I'm not like walking to the other side of the court, snowbirding, looking for a 3-pointer.
That's another thing. If you're 6'4" and huge and you work out a lot, why the heck are you on a pickleball court? Go out there and try out for Mr. Olympia. Do something else. Like, get off the pickleball court. It's not for you.
Gosh,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding, y'all. But
I think it makes it even like honestly, like I think it's even like. I don't know how to say this. I don't want to say like nastier, but I think it's even more like awesome that you assume that somebody of a particular size or physical fitness would just be a banger, and that's not. He can do both, right?
Yeah.
So I like the duplicity of that. Of like, oh man, dude, like I did not expect you to hit that shot.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Actually, I don't remember him being good at dinking. It's like he could bang or he could tap the ball.
But
That's
he would
right.
throw, he would throw a lob up like.
So why were you not dinking with him?
Well,
That's what I'm saying. Why feed it?
Yeah.
If you know that he can take a high, I'm not saying he has every skill, but that's a skill he has. Taking a very fast ball and trying to slow it down. And we should do this I've done this before. Of can you make this ball bounce a pickleball? Because we used to do this in tennis all the time. Can you make that tennis ball bounce 15 times before it hits the service line, right?
Yeah.
But in pickleball, it's like, can this hit 5 times before it hits the kitchen line? It's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard to defend if you can do it. No, and let's not get it twisted. Like this game we played yesterday, we weren't like in this match. It wasn't close, right? Like
Yeah.
we got
don't know.
mopped
Yeah.
by these guys, and they were good. Like, they played great. But I think, this guy could bang the ball too, but his partner could hit it really well. So I definitely gotta say, like, it was a good team, but.
Yeah, there were times that I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's kind of a little rub your nose in it, right? It was a little like,
Yeah, for sure.
Was that really needed? But
Yeah.
That's a little frustrating when it's like, okay, you've already got me whipped and now you're doing that. Like,
That brings me to
That's
another
rude.
point, and I'm not going to talk about it for too long, but it's like something that happens, and I asked him about it,
okay.
and you kind of, and I mean this in the nicest way, y'all. You will like win like a game, like like yesterday when you were playing with our friend,
Yeah.
and you beat us like 11-0. We lost pretty bad to them,
Oh, when we were playing rec afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
One, yeah.
yeah, you beat us 11-0, and and then the next game it's like 2-0, and you're already mad at yourself, and it's like, and other people do it too. It's like you just like won a really good game and you lose 1 point and you're getting angry. I'm like, guys, please,
I'm
this
okay
is
with that.
so, you're like, you're
okay
proud
with
of that?
I'm okay with that.
Whoa.
No, I'm not. No, you know what
No, I'm okay
like-
with that because I've made a decision that I haven't made in the past year. I am going to discontinue playing or practicing any different than the way I want to play.
Okay.
And that's what's been happening, is that in practices, I have not been aggressive.
Okay.
I have been hard on myself in the wrong way, right? I've let myself down. I haven't been aggressive. Then I'm getting upset with myself. So I made the decision in 002 no more. When I'm going out to practice, I'm going to practice the way that I want to play. And if that means that I'm going to be very serious about every point, and when I've let myself down, when I know I was capable of doing better or doing more, I'm going to get mad at myself. I'm going to give myself the kick in the butt.
Somebody else
For sure.
with me now.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we've had conversations about that, and I've thought about it. And there are particular reasons I'm not going to go into of like why I may have laid off myself for a while or laid off in situations. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not, because I owe myself better. I've been better than that in my life, and I'm not going to do it. So, I'll get intense with myself. It's on me. It has nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And Vivi, I know you've said to me on the court, like when we're playing regs, like, are you really getting mad? Like,
Yeah.
we're out here playing and you're like, I'm like, no, like, you don't understand. Like, we just talked about let's do this, and then the shot comes and we do that.
Yeah.
And then
But-
the ball gets, like, killed.
I understand being like, darn it, like that's not what we're supposed to do. But like when y'all are like cussing and when it just stresses me out.
I got
And
you.
I'm like, guys, there's actually no point. Once again, this is pickleball.
Yeah.
And we're not like making money from it. It is like we could stop playing and literally nothing would change.
Yeah, but I just find another sport to do that with. Like, I'm an
Exact-
intense
well,
person by nature.
but I'm just, like,
acting
still-
like I'm anything different. And that's kind of where I've decided is I know I'm an intense person. I know I'm a passionate person. And I have let myself down in the past year on that. I have not been intense and I have not been passionate. And I'm not going to do that. And it doesn't matter if it's pickleball. It doesn't matter if it's tennis. It doesn't matter if it's volleyball. I don't care. There is probably a 1 month period where I'm okay with just being okay. I'm like, oh, I'm learning and this is fun. And then all of a sudden I get like a little bit of skill behind me in any sport. And I'm like, okay, now I'm in and let's do this. And the intensity comes. I'm an intense person even in work. Like, it's just who I am.
Looking at me
Because
like
nothing good comes easy, yo. In 1 month.
that's-
It doesn't.
1 month,
But I
it's
can
not
promise
enough
you
time.
my intensity has driven me further in my life personally, whether that be, in a personal level, at work, in sports. I mean, I started playing tennis at 15 to get a college scholarship and have people tell me that's not possible for you to do. You are not good enough and you are not coachable and you will never get a college scholarship. And I did, to multiple schools. But that only comes from being tough on myself because nobody else is being tough on me. No, everybody else was, you can't do it. You're starting, at a good 7 to 10 years behind talent that plays at the collegiate level. So that intensity started with me when I was 15, and I knew I wanted to play tennis. And I've driven that throughout my life, and I'm not going to let myself off the hook. And if that has some cuss words associated with it and some fiery personality, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't look at me for.
We're both fiery.
Well, no, I'm just like, the thing with me is like, I know kind of what I'm capable of or what I've been capable of in the past, like on the pickleball court or whatever. And so when I don't perform at that level, whether it be on Sunday morning at rec play or at, whatever, one of the biggest tournaments we play at, like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating not to get to that level or stay on that level because you know what you're capable of. Like, you can make good decisions and hit great shots. And when it doesn't work out that way, it's frustrating. Like, I know how to defend that shot, or I know how to, like, where to drop the ball. Why am I off?
Choosing anything different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think.
But everybody has a different approach.
Practice the way you play. I know, 100%.
There's a ton of players out there that love for it to be happier on the court and not, I get it. I am not the partner for everybody, right? And sometimes he and I are not the partners for each other. We get very angry at each other on the court.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of okay with that in some ways because I know he's just as focused as me, and I know he wants it or wants to be as good as we can be. We both have that same passion. It's just making sure that we're on the same page. That's what we need to work out. But I know that and I've told that to partners along the way. It's like, I am not an easy partner to play with because I do have an attitude on the court.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it. You either like it or you don't.
Yeah. Yeah, Vivi. I mean, we've played tournament together.
Yes, and that's what I'm getting into right now. I don't know how much time we have.
We have no time. So, listeners,
no.
y'all are just riding with us on this one because we're
running over time. But it's hot and heavy in here.
I'm sorry, but the thing is, okay, say you do want to get mad at practice and practice how you play. And I say this because I know it, and I don't know if you were this kind of tennis player.
Yeah.
But I broke rackets. I slammed my racket. I threw my racket. I yelled. I cried. I did everything. And I did that during practice, so I did that at tournaments. And quite frankly, it's embarrassing. I'm sorry. It's embarrassing to go out on the court and throw your paddle and hit the ball against the wall really hard.
We did experience that yesterday, or
yeah.
Oh yeah,
we played.
yeah. I don't have that.
Well,
I've never broken a racket.
Then
I've never broken a paddle. I've never thrown a paddle.
Well, I'm just saying,
There's distractions of anger. That's a distracting anger. I hate to say this, but I'm just a spoiled child out here, like breaking rackets.
No.
And
Trust me,
throwing handles. Yeah, and that is all over in tennis. Yes, there's all sorts of behavior like that. I think that's very different from having an ownness of what your capabilities are and saying, I'm not letting you slide, Nicki. You should do better. That shot, you knew what to do with it and you didn't do it. Or that shot was not good enough to beat you. That's okay.
Well, same thing, when people throw their rackets, y'all do this a lot, and I don't do it anymore like that often, but, you hit the ball really hard under the net to the other player.
I don't do that.
You do. And I know you know you do, so it's not like...
I do soft, I do hard. I do whatever I want to do with that. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like it's important to practice with a good mindset so you can go out on in a tournament and play with a good mindset so you aren't getting frustrated with yourself, so you're not distracted by that.
Yeah.
I think you have to have a mindset that has a minimum, that has a... I do. I think that you have to have a mindset. You don't have to be angry. My approach may be that anger fuels me, right? Anger drives me. It's either anger or tears in life drive me to change, right? That's who I am, okay? And I'm not going to hide that. That's who I am. But I do think that even in practice, even in And I'll be completely blunt, right? When we go out and do drills and stuff, and you and I have had this fight over and over again because I get upset. If you don't have a minimum, right? If you don't say, hey, I should at this time be capable of hitting 15 dinks in a row without missing. And when you miss the third one, you're not upset. Like you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. No. That's letting yourself off the hook. That's saying I should be better than that. Now, every once in a while, yes, but consistently not being able to hit 15 dinks in a row at a 4.0, 4.5 level, you got to be able to do it. It's table stakes. Yeah. So I think even if, the anger or frustration is too far, I still think you have to practice the way that you want to play. The will to win is not worth a nickel without the will to practice. That's a quote that drove me whenever I was trying to learn tennis. I had to go out there and be focused on, this is what I'm going to do. This is my minimum bar. Anything less than that, I'm not okay with it.
Right.
I'm not all right with it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. So I will say, do as I say and not as I do. So theoretically, right, I think the way we practice, the way we drill, the way we, play competitive matches that aren't tournaments, that is where we're working, and I think we should be pushing ourselves to get better and to expect a lot out of us. And theoretically, when we get to a tournament, that should be the time to be loose and have fun, right? Like we've gotten.
Well, you're saying yes, but you're saying the opposite.
What?
So this is.
Did he not say at tournaments is the time?
You're
tournaments
saying
is the time to be as loose as we can and have as that's what we practice for, is to go.
But you're saying even in practice that you shouldn't be hard on yourself.
No, I gave y'all the option. You can be mad at practice if you want to be mad at practice, but don't take that out at a tournament.
Yeah,
that's what I want to get across.
I got you.
One or the other.
I think that you and I, like we've gone to tournaments and played pretty loose. And I mean, when I say loose, I mean, we just we don't get angry at, we pick each other up. Vivi, you're really good on the court as a partner saying, hey, like next shot, let's move on. You too. Sometimes I just don't want to hear it. I'm like, no, not next shot. Like I should have got that. But theoretically, when you're playing a tournament, that should be your time to be loose and have fun, because you're as good as you're going to be at that moment. Yeah, you can kind of heat up and catch things during the tournament, but like all the practice you put in, like you're not practicing at a tournament, you're playing at a tournament, right? That's why it's called practice and play. So
y'all may be saying something like play loose, but you should trust that you know what to do. That's when you're in a tournament. I don't think it's play loose and silly.
No, I'm not talking about.
Fine.
I'm not talking about.
That's fine. No, we missed. That's okay. You should trust that you know the right shot to do. You should trust that you've practiced this over and over and over again. You've honed the skill. You have the ability. So now it's time to trust it and go for it.
Trust it and go for it.
But I still think it's okay to say, hey, if I miss it, okay, I shouldn't have missed that. That's not okay, right? Just saying like, oh, that's okay.
You're
like
preaching to the choir.
It's not okay. Like even in a tournament, right? And do you have to get like crazy angry? No.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but it is a time to say, hey, I trust what I've learned, or I trust what I've practiced, and now it's the time to show it. Because in a tournament, you have to deal with the nerves. That's the difference. Is now you have nerves involved. Any skill that you don't truly understand, or any breakdown that you have in your stroke, any hitch, is only going to get worse at a tournament.
Yeah.
Because now you have nerves involved. So everything is going to be held up.
Right.
And that's where kind of you've got to trust it, or you've got to play loose. That's where that whole thing comes from. Because if you don't, you're going to tense up so much of the nerves. And now I'm angry. Now this hitch is even worse.
Yeah.
Now this shot is even worse than it was before. Because now I've added on a whole nother thing of nerves on this as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I think we're at 50 minutes, y'all.
Well, can I just say one more thing?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, go for
This is
it. I mean,
kinda
we're
off-
in it.
I will.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry,
I just
y'all.
kinda wanted to give a shout out and tell you somebody who does not have. I mean, she's got like ice in the veins. Like didn't rattle at all. We played her in the tournament at Fredericksburg. Emilce?
Oh, wait. No. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Like.
I'm going to say, okay, Emil say. So, oh, man, Emmy, I'm sorry to bring this. You're starting this.
What do you mean I'm starting this?
So, okay. So, Emmy, I think, and Emmy, maybe you can tell us if this is true or not. I think Emmy has nerves on the court. She does a great job at working through them. Fantastic job.
Yeah.
I've played Emmy several times, and I know she gets nervous and heady, especially at the beginning of a match, but she does a very, very good job of powering through it.
Yeah.
And I respect that a lot because I've watched her, and I know that she's nervous. I've watched her husband watch her, and he's very supportive of her and knows what to say to help her out.
Do you think that makes somebody more nervous? Like, does it make you more nervous when you have somebody like?
When you, or you, I used to. Well, you know what?
Well, sorry, I don't want to stray away.
No,
from
but
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think
I
it
know I
helps
shouldn't say
Emmy
anything.
to know he's there. He has very specific things that he says to her when she's going or when he's like proud of what she did. I've watched and listened to that a lot, Emmy, sorry. But it is a really good combination of him really understanding what she needs to get through that. But I do think she has a little bit of nerves. But she does a wonderful, wonderful job of holding it together until the game kind of gets in there.
Yeah.
She does like the 6-point thing, right? Of by about 6 to 10 points, she's solid as a rock.
Right.
She's extremely solid on the court and a great mix player because she is very, very consistent.
I'll say it's hard to read, and yeah, you might be right. Like there's some bend between 0 and 6, but like she definitely doesn't break. Like I've played her several times, and I've watched her play some matches too, and yeah, she hangs in there, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see it. I mean, maybe we got some cheap points, or maybe we got some points off of her.
Yeah.
But she definitely finished,
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I like I said, I think
Yeah.
there is a bit. I mean, only you can answer this. I think there is a bit of nerves, but I think she does a rock star job of working through it and understanding it only lasts for a period of time. And I think she has a great support group that
definitely.
knows what to say.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how far she goes because I don't think she's been playing too long, but
No, yeah, she's great.
yeah. You've played her. Have you played?
Yeah.
Emmy?
Oh my gosh, Emmy, I said we were going to give you a shout out, but dang, that was like a whole segment.
Sorry. Did you have?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. You're.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll save it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah.
So we're rambling. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, y'all.
Thanks for. Hopefully, you guys have hung in this long.
Well, thank you guys. We will end this episode here. We'll be recording a few more. Next week is Thanksgiving, so this will be coming out. So next week's Thanksgiving. We may do a special Thanksgiving episode, maybe.
With a special guest.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Word
I don't know.
has it.
Let's-
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Don't mean to get y'all all excited.
They have to tune in to see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Don't forget to go on to pickleballbrackets.com and register for the 002 tournament using discount code Dill. We also have stickers, so if you want any, let us know.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
y'all.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.